Hello, I am MK England. I'm the author of this purple spacey book, The Disasters, and my newest book, Spellhacker, which is out this year, January 21st. So soon, extremely soon. I am here today to answer some questions sent to me by the lovely blogger over at To All the Books I've Read Before. So here we go. Question number 1. How did I come up with the concept for this novel? So like most of my ideas, I'm a giant nerd, so a lot of my ideas come out of my nerdy habits, and this was another idea that came out during a gaming session at my friend Dave's gaming table. I honestly could not tell you what game we were playing, whether it was Dungeons & Dragons or Star Wars RPG or Pathfinder or something like that, but something in what we were playing just suddenly made me think, Magic Hackers, that's a book. So I quickly jotted that idea down, and then it just sat in my Google Ideas folder for probably a year or so until I finished up The Disasters. I needed something new to write, and I just still really loved the idea of magic hackers. So started poking at that idea and asking it questions until I figured out what it actually was about, and Spellhacker emerged from there. Question number 2. What type of environment do I write best in? So I write best in anywhere that's not home. Coffee shops, I go to grocery stores sometimes that have cafes or just sort of free seating areas. Libraries sometimes. I just get really easily distracted when I'm at home, especially if my partner is home or the dogs want to play or, there's just something else I'm supposed to be doing. So I have to get out of the house. I also generally need silence when I write, and coffee shops and silence don't really go together so much. So I tend to put in my headphones, and instead of music, which I find extremely distracting, I will go to a website called mynoise.net, where you can kind of blend whatever color of noise. You can kind of put together whatever blend of noise best blocks out the sound around you, or whatever is pleasing to your ears. So I highly recommend it if you're one of those people that needs silence but also needs something to block out what's around you. Question number 3. If you could have one person direct Spellhacker into a movie or series, who would it be and why? So this is where I admit to you that I don't know who anybody is ever. I am terrible at actors and celebrities of all kinds. My friends are always like, oh, do you know that guy who was in that movie? This guy, he was in this and this and this. And the answer is almost always no. So unless it's like one of my deep passionate fandoms, I can tell you everybody who ever starred in the like early 2000s sci-fi show Farscape, but real like modern celebrities and directors and stuff, there's almost no hope. So I'm going to tell you the one name that I do know, and that is Greg Berlanti, who is more of a producer than a director actually, but he has been behind tons of DC superhero TV shows, and a lot of really teen-oriented shows that have queer content, and he is a queer person himself, so I feel like I would be more likely to trust him with my stuff than anybody else. All that said, I wish I were better educated on this topic so that I could tell you a really awesome female or non-binary director to put in charge of my projects. But alas, I know nothing about anybody anywhere. Question number 4. Your story deals with magical fun. It does indeed. So if I could create a magic trick to receive anything in the world, what would it be and why? There's really not a whole lot of tangible like stuff in the world that I want, that I want like badly enough to use a magic trick to get it. Like sure, there are definitely some rare video games or like Star Wars movie props and things like that I would love to have just because. But the things that I want most are kind of big concepts, I guess. More time in general, an end to climate change and inequality. But I feel like, some sort of like magical non-toxic stuff that I could put on my garden to get rid of the Japanese beetles. They're so invasive. They're terrible, guys. That probably exists. I could probably find something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just cast a spell for like a badass rideable unicorn instead. I don't know. All right. And question number 5. Create a one-sentence tagline that would capture a reader's attention to read Spellhacker. You know, I am not as good at this part of the stuff. I don't think I can do any better than the amazing team at HarperCollins, at Harper Teen, who came up with the actual tagline that is on the front of the book. One last heist. Famous last words. That paired up with this awesome cover, which has like, it's got kind of the high-tech neon thing, but also the glowy threads of magic in there. I think between all of those elements, they just really nailed cramming together all of the elements that are in this book. Futuristic and magic and fun heist and sarcastic fun times. And, you know, it's a lot to try and portray in one cover, but I think they did it along with that tagline. So thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, Spellhacker comes out January 21st. I hope you'll consider reading it if you like heists and high-tech futuristic worlds and magic and people who have emotions and don't know what to do with them because they are painful and they hurt. And also found family, badass illegal fun times. Bye.